Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the men's gold medal match right here at the Melbourne Champions between our carryover champions at the Vietnam Open, George Wall and Joey Wild. They're going to be versing Mitchell Hargreaves and Kyle Yates. My name is Adam Hall, and we're coming to you live from the Frankston Centenary Tennis Club for the final PPA Tour event of the year. Sitting alongside me, Mr. Rob Cassidy. Welcome to the broadcast.
Adam, thank you so much, man. Happy to be here. Happy to be in Australia, and it's been a fantastic event. Looking forward to another wonderful match in this gold medal here, so looking forward to it.
Kyle Yates to commence play.
Ooh. Ooh.
And a hot start there, Rob Cassidy.
Took 3 to put it away, though. Not too shabby.
0-0-1.
Nice deep ball there from Kyle Yates to George Wall. The pathway to this final, Rob Cassidy, well, you encountered George Wall and Joe Wild on the way here. You took it to 3 games.
Yes. That ball stays in. What a line call just on the grimace of George Wall's face.
Well, a little bit of wind assistance, I think, Rob Cassidy.
Yeah, yeah.
The breeze not as heavy as it was yesterday, thankfully.
Second server.
But maybe playing a little role here on show court.
Got to find a way to make the wind your friend. Distinct from Hargreaves.
Yeah, just a nice little slowish start here. 0-0 apiece at the moment in this gold medal match. Game 1, if you are just tuning in with us.
Nice slap, nice reset.
And that one just goes wide. Yeah, we saw the speed up there from Hargreaves to Joey Wild. And Joey, nice deft touch back at the feet of Hargreaves there.
Ooh, dagger. Two-hander from Hargreaves.
Just a lot of movement around at that kitchen line at the moment, Rob.
Wild takes his chances on that one. Hargreaves, ever ready. First met Hargreaves in the States. In California. Great player. And a great eye.
When you first met him, did he come over with a strong reputation from Australia? What did you hear about our star in Mitchell Hargreaves?
No, I had zero reputation. Met him in rec games at Los Cab in California. Very natural. It was great. That's where the Brasha sisters, if you're familiar with a couple of the United States players, the Mary and Maggie Brasha. Fantastic facility. He was training there with Amelia. Yates scrambles. They pull the Hargreaves. He drops perfectly. Can't take the net just yet. Oh, and the misting.
Well, that point built up really nicely there, didn't it? The Yates with his feet work, it's quite phenomenal to watch firsthand, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. One of the greatest players to play the game, and his footwork was one of the reasons why he's referred to as the original GOAT of pickleball.
And a favourable net roll there. You can audibly hear that through our audio mics.
0-2-1.
Loving Joey Wild's game. Loving getting to share the court with him at this event. He's got that great partnership with George Wall. What a last name for pickleball, huh?
We call him the Brick Wall, Rob.
Excellent.
Brick Wall for a reason. He buffeters anything he can throw at him.
Yeah, we had a classic of a match. As you mentioned, that path. I was part of that path. 12-10 in the third. Joey Wild's George Wall dialed in. Hargreaves fends it off.
Can't do that one, however. Some great movement at the kitchen line by George Wall, the Brick Wall.
Yeah, and Adam, 3 out of 4 players from the previous event gold medal match out here right now. pretty impressive to say the least.
Yeah, just speaking about that, Rob Cassidy, it's all about consistency at the high level. That's why we see these types of players consistently making semi-finals and finals.
3, 2, 1.
That's right. There's a reason for it.
Point.
Tough miss. Can't have it.
And after going 0-0 a number of times, we've now seen an accumulation of points here.
4, 2, 1.
Ooh.
Point.
Tees off on it. Plays the out ball. Still able to snag the point. Timeout called by Yates and Hargreaves.
5, 2, 1.
Well, I mean, it's been a nice encounter so far, Rob, and after a bit of a sluggish start where both sides were just trying to feel each other out, we've got Wall and Wild with a 2-point advantage here. And you mentioned your encounter with Wall and Wild. You did take them to 3 games. The pathway for Yates and Hargreaves has been a little easier with on-court time. They've only had to play 2 games in their 3 matches to run to this final. But the cooler conditions, I think, will eliminate that extra on-court time, to be honest. But you did take them to 3 games. And what was the difference between them taking that victory, you think?
It was such a great battle. I got to the pleasure to play with Andy Horridge today, and we brought the fire. It was great. Honestly, we were just letting one out ball away from taking match, so we could have just as well been here today. So it was a pleasure playing with Andy Horridge, another Australian superstar, just another testament to the talent here in Australia. Love it.
Well, that was impressive play there by Wild. Repeated speed-ups by Hargreaves at Wild.
Yep.
And the smartness at the end there, just to let that ball travel out, go wide.
Step 1, let out balls go out. Casual drive, 5th shot drop. Hargreaves seeks to punish, ball stays in.
I was just complimenting him on his intelligence, but he's probably wishing he had a play at that one.
You don't want to compliment his intelligence too much, Adam. I don't.
High IQ, George Wall, ball in hand.
Ooh, forces to Yates and gets the error. You know, technically that goes in the book as an unforced, but clearly a forced error from Joey Wilds.
2, 2.
The cross court from Wall.
That speed up from Hargreaves to Wild is not working, Rob Cassidy.
Yeah, it's a submission. It's like it's a lock. It is the equivalent of an arm bar, that cross court dink from George Wall. Got to catch his breath real quick.
Call it again. 8, 2, 2.
8-2-2, breaking it open in game 1. Not gonna work. Wilds is dialed in since playing against me.
You reckon you've had a helping hand in this? Well, Wild we saw with his first speed-up attempt at Hargreaves and caught Hargreaves completely unaware, pumping that ball far and wide.
3rd shot drive. Oh, Wall.
Side out.
You don't see many mistakes from George Wall at the kitchen line.
2,
But
9,
handing the
1.
ball back over at 2-9 isn't a bad thing. Yates and Hargreaves now with an opportunity to accumulate some points.
Putting Hargreaves to work here. Being selective when they go to Yates, but it's working. Here's one.
Oh, and an ambitious ATP attempt there. He gave it time, he gave it space.
That was hooking back, too.
3,
Just
9,
wide
1.
of the sideline there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Interesting to note, we just see that Joe Wild and George Wall are out of position here. You've seen the hand signal now from Wild to switch back to their more common positions. George on the left, Joey on the right. And it works out for them that time.
Yeah, different looks can break it open a little bit. You know, you show a different look and then go back to your plan A. Shakes them up a little bit, opens up some doors. This is the third.
And here's their chance to unwind that stack.
9-4-1.
It's going to be a critical hold here for Yates and Hargreaves. Third shot drive, gets the point.
Well, just like that, Rob Cassidy, we have a game point situation in this gold medal match. This is game 1, first to 11. Smart leave there by Yates.
Very smartly. In these windy conditions, I strive to trust my paddle more than the, you know, the wind. Ooh, pressure.
Another ATT.
It's going to be there. Can they settle back in? They do. Smart. Heavy.
Oh, through the middle.
Not
That's the end of that. Game 1, Rob Cassidy. Well, we saw an ATP attempt made. It was defended. But in the end, that ball stayed live. And we saw Joey Wild finish that one straight through the middle. Well, what a first game we just saw there.
Yeah, it's the biggest way to give Joey opportunity is to attack into him. You know, he's got those ever-ready hands. He's very alert, and he's got the reach to really kind of be in position to handle anything you bring his way. So having the discipline to deny that itch to attack straight up into Joey is part of the equation for success here.
And I didn't think that Kyle Yates or Mitchell Hargreaves did much wrong. If anything, that pattern of speeding up at Joey Wild by Mitch Hargreaves just didn't work.
Right, right. I mean, I didn't tally every single unforced error, but they were there. They were there, and they were not there on the side of Wall and Wild. So just fundamental pickleball. If we could rename it, we'd call it minimize unforced errors ball. That would be a better...
You reckon it'd be better? I think that's even more of a mouthful than pickleball. But
perhaps.
We're a work in progress. That's
name
okay.
of the game.
That's okay.
Adam, do you play pickleball?
I love playing pickleball.
Nice.
I'm lucky enough, being where I am on the Gold Coast, that there are lots of our pros that actually reside on the Gold Coast, and I get the casual hit with them at times, but nowhere near as good as this level.
The old casual hit. I like it. There's the smackdown from Hargreaves. That ball is not coming back.
Well, we're now into game 2 of this gold medal match, Rob, and if Mitch Hargreaves and Kyle Yates are to come back, they're going to need to play more points like that, be aggressive, taking balls out of the air. Joey Wild, well, he takes balls out of the air too.
Zero, 2.
And there's the first unforced.
1-0-2.
Oh, wow.
Body bag on George Wall, getting in the way of that one. Interesting to see Hargreaves now playing on the left.
You know?
Yates playing on the right.
Yeah, I mean, the same as they had in game 1. But I was thinking the same thing during game 1, Adam, is having Kyle Yates on the right, whereas I think he could be much more influential on the left. I think him cross-courting with George Wall would be
0-2-1.
a gift for Yates and Hargreaves.
That's a nice double-handed backhand there from Hargreaves.
It's a good shutdown. You know, start to casualize those counters. You know, take the pressure off yourself. I'm not seeing any falter and will on either side here, so this is great.
Oh, tremendous touch there by Joe Wild, but popping it way too high in Hargreaves. He's come out to play this game too, Rob Cassidy.
I'm loving this laser focus from Kyle Yates. You know, sometimes distractions can come into play, even that scoreboard in game 1, but I think they're dialed to take this match, and love to see it.
201.
That's a huge play.
Yeah, a lot of risk, but no reward there. Don't obtain a point, but the feet work was lightning quick and impressive. It's a nice drive, isn't it?
Oh.
Swatting flies, Kyle Yates.
Yeah.
Welcome to Melbourne.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he really wanted to lay off it, and then at the same time, he really wanted to put it away. So, way to get that paddle out of the way, Kyle Yates. Here we go. Yeah, yeah. And that first poke, that initiate from Hargreaves is a setup for that true put-away ball. Of course, Joey Wild is getting that first one back. Nice play from Yates and Hargreaves.
Well, that's the first time I think that speed up, at Joe Wild has actually worked.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a winner attempt, you know. That's kind of the first time that it had that intent to set up, which is super important.
Well, Wild and Wall now, they get the side out. This is now their opportunity.
041. Second server.
It's great return.
Zero 4-2.
Sure.
Side out.
Just a couple of errors here from Joey Wild. Handing back serve.
4-0-1.
And even those, Adam, are a little bit forced, you know. He's forcing those errors with those deep returns. Nice patience here. Little poke.
Point.
Hargreaves is playing, I don't know, 7 times smarter than he was in the first game. He's settled in.
5-0-1.
Have to agree there, and as you see, the timeout has been quickly called by Joey Wild and George Wall. As you can see them just having a little moment on the sideline to have a bit of a break. They're not really talking too much. Obviously, they took out the first game pretty convincingly there, 11-4, so they're just looking to reset now, I think, Rob.
Yeah, got to stop that momentum somehow and ice the kicker a little bit and, you know, stick to what you're good at. So, Hargreaves and Yates taking over.
Well, we've seen a much different Mitch Hargreaves come out. He's been way more tactful and a lot more aggressive.
Yeah.
I commented before that the speed-ups at Joe Wild in game one just simply did not work, but we just saw late there the first speed-up attempt at Joe Wild did work, and Kyle Yates complimented him nicely. Yeah,
less of, you know, an all-or-nothing winner attempt versus, you know, a jab or an initiate, and then the next ball, true put away. It's good pickleball.
The players are just coming back onto court now.
2 timeouts remaining. Time in. 5-0-1.
Very nice. Solid.
Highly ambitious backhand ATP there. Yeah. Nowhere near it in the end, George Wall.
And that's it. That's the game you play. People are worried, oh, what if my cross court goes too wide and they can ATP it? Force them to make the ATP. Kyle Yates is going to be there for to defend. Here we go.
What a lob.
Aye.
Just goes long. Well, we don't see too many lobs in tricky conditions, and I would say that with the breeze being a little more swirly than the morning, it is a bit more tricky here out now.
So good. Yates has always had some of the best touch in the game of pickleball. His finesse is top-notch, and of course his ever-ready counter
7-0-2.
lives at a different speed. Oh, heavy brick, he gets it.
The heavy brick does get that one back. Well, for George Wall, he doesn't get body bag much, but that would be the second body bag in the previous point that he has had in this match. It hurts the pride when that happens, Rob Cassidy. This is a rally.
Sure, to the space.
And George Wall just too keen there to finish that point. Forces Wall and Wild to take another timeout. Speaking of timeouts, we might take the opportunity to have a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more from this gold medal match. To the gold medal match between Mitchell Hargreaves and Kyle Yates. Closest to camera, Joe Wild and George Wall. Their opponents in this gold medal match. Game 2. Game 1 was taken out by Wild and Wall.
Woo!
Speaking of Wall, the brick wall at the feet there of Kyle Yates. Couple of timeouts have been called by Wild and Wall. You can see the scoreline has blown completely out for them after taking out game 1.
Second server.
Is that net made of platinum?
Sterling silver,
Oh.
actually.
Brought to you by Rob Sterling himself for Team Hustle. Oh, that was so good. On the ropes.
Oh, that was a tremendous overhead. Kyle Yates, he kind of resembles,
Kyle Yates.
well, I was going to say with Marty McFly, Back to the Future.
Oh,
Did you
yes.
ever cop that tag over in the States?
I mean, I haven't heard that for Yates, but let's get him a life jacket and put him to work. He's from the past, and he's still the future of pickleball, so I accept that. I accept that for Yates. That's really good.
This is great resetting.
Oof. Yates takes net.
Oh, what a leave there by Kyle Yates.
Yes.
And importantly, Rob Cassidy, they regain service 9-0 now.
10-0-2. Point game.
Beautiful.
That is game and match. Apologies, 10-0 was the scoreline. And that point has just been raised to take it 11-0, and it's a bagel.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I mean, like I mentioned briefly earlier, just unfaltering after that large deficit in game 1 to bounce back and make this a long match. We're 1 game apiece now. Going to have a nice, fun game 3 here. If Hargreaves and Yates can keep this going, they're in good shape.
Well, we saw a dramatically different Hargreaves and also some fantastic supporting there by Kyle Yates. They literally came out and blew them apart. And the aggressive playing style was something that caught Wild and Wall completely by surprise, with Wall the one that making a lot of unforced errors.
I mean, just solid in game 2. I mean, I think I want to say cut in half, but it was more than that. I mean, they divided their unforced errors by at least 3. I mean, just so much more solid in game 2, and I think that's going to carry over into game 3. Wall and Wilds have some soul searching if they're going to pull this one out.
Big time. Well, I don't think that the time on court will make much of a difference, but as you can see, you've got Yates and Hargreaves, the eager pairing to get back onto the baseline. They have ball in hand.
Yes.
Kyle Yates furthest from camera, about to bring us into play. Gold medal match, game 3. 1 game apiece. Final game, who will win this gold medal at the PPA Tour Australia event, Melbourne Championships? Smart leave there, through the middle.
It's a strong adjustment. I mean, if the shorter points are going to keen towards their way a little bit more, that might be all it takes to take game 3. There's the drive. Great balance from Hargreaves. Can he keep the discipline? Takes the impossible ball. Attacks.
Smart play there from George Wall. He had lots of time and space to actually figure out what shot he wanted to play. Went for the speed up through the middle.
1-0-1.
Popped that ball up.
Great get from Yates, but no advantage to be had.
Second server.
That's the sign of a champion when he moans and groans on his first unforced error. I love it.
1-0-2.
Makes me think of Adam Stone. Anytime Adam Stone, the great Adam Stone, made an error, you know he's not going to make another one for at least the next 15 minutes.
Well, there's a small error there from Wild. Just a bit too trigger happy.
0-1-1.
Yeah, Kyle Yates is strictly dialed, and it's rubbing off on Hargreaves. Exactly what they need. Switching sides at 6. Yikes. And that was a little preemptive, right? That was a little early
Certainly
of
was.
a trigger pull there.
Net roll goes wide. And Rob Cassidy, you just mentioned it before. This will be first to 11, so we will swap at 6 here in this Game 3 gold medal match. Mitch Hargreaves, Kyle Yates, George Wall, Joey Wild.
Whew.
And
Unlucky.
a little favourable roll there. Mitch Hargreaves, he is absolutely smoking balls out of the air at the moment.
101.
Oof.
Second server.
It's accumulation of small decisions, Adam. You know, and this, they serve, they return, and if they're
102.
returning to Wilds, does he drive it at Yates or does he drive at Hargreaves? Yikes. Ah, you see that spot? There's a similar spot that I came across yesterday on this court during
202.
mixed doubles. Woo!
He almost got body bagged again, and that point, or that ball, should I say, finds its way in, earning a point. It's a game of precision at the moment. You see at the kitchen line some real,
021.
close dinking battles. We've audibly heard through the microphone a number of times the ball hitting the net. That's how quick the margins are that we're dealing with at the moment. None of these players want to give an inch.
Joey pressuring Yates here. Relentless to Yates. Oh! That would have been his second dish off to Hargreaves. Distributing well, but the unforced error from Wilds.
Yet again, the net tape has something to say about this match.
Second server.
George Wall just pumping up his
I love
partner,
that.
Joey Wild.
I love that.
122.
Goes for it. Hargreaves with the follow-up.
Just relentless at the body there of George Wall were Yates and Hargreaves.
And I got to admit, these guys were playing it cool in game 1 and 2, but I'm starting to feel the tension, feel the anxiety here in game 3.
He went all of it there. He wanted all of that baseline, Joey Wild. He didn't get any of it there.
And that's an OG pro move from Kyle Yates, holding that baseline where the opponent has the kitchen line and turning it into a neutral. The player at the net has the offensive advantage, but the player at the baseline has the defensive advantage. Great trust from Yates and Hargreaves. Off the net a smidge. We could tell.
Yeah, big time. That's a big time play, big time point there.
To finish that thought on that neutral exchange with Yates at the baseline,
231.
you know, they had the offensive advantage, but they went for too much with that offense, and it was well played from Kyle. It's the advanced stuff. Ooh.
Whoa, the inside out there from Kyle Yates.
Tough miss.
Just goes wide of the sideline on the George Wall side. Yeah, there's some nice little feeling in this one, game 3,
I'd
gold
say.
medal.
The game we deserve. MLP Australia alive as well. PPA as well.
Second server.
Really enjoying the team event, Adam, and the tournament structure here at PPA Australia, MLP Australia. Great to be a part of it.
Joe Wild, probably that ball needed to be taken out of the air, just the execution lacking there, unfortunately.
3-3-1.
They're going to hold here, give that different look.
Nice speed up there from Hargreaves to George Wall, who was playing on the right side, not normally where he would play. I think we might start to see this unwinding of the stack, and George Wall giving that signal that he will be crossing to the left. Backhand speed up from Hargreaves.
That is strict textbook scoring points. Perfect third shot drop into pop-up, put away by the partner, rinse and repeat. Good stuff.
Well, for Yates and Hargreaves, it's a story that's familiar because game 2, they were the most aggressive. In game 3 here, when it matters, gold medal match, they're aggressive yet again.
Tight game, 2-point game. You know, this can still go either way. We're creeping towards that 6. Is there a better side? Have you seen that at all today?
Well, I'm starting to feel it with Hargreaves and Yates.
Yeah.
The way that Mitch Hargreaves has responded after that game 1. I mean, they only just went down. Well, not just went down. They went down pretty comfortably. It was 11-4 in the favour of Wild and Wall. But then the repeat, game 2, 11-0 to Yates and Hargreaves. And since that game, Hargreaves hasn't missed a beat.
Yeah. Hargreaves, you know, he started a little tight. He was pulling the trigger, really going for a lot. He has settled in since then. Hopefully, as they approach endgame here in game 3, he doesn't, you know,
tighten up,
teeter back towards that. Exactly. If he can just stay how he is and just finish the match, they'll be smooth sailing. But here we go. Hargreaves to serve.
Time in, score is 5-3-1.
Another great timeout.
Well, you just want to try to break some momentum, and they've broken serve here. They'll be on the second, however, Yates and Hargreaves.
Huge.
He's tuned in, isn't he?
Yeah.
Big
Huge.
time.
Get that side switch.
And we are going to see now the changing of ends, a quick opportunity for the players to get a small drinks break. I just don't think that they can be stopped, Hargreaves and Yates, at this point.
They've reached a level. They've reached a level of momentum that, as you said, Adam, that's a good question. Can they be stopped? They have reached 6 first and are now entering the side that both games have been won on in this match. So if there is a good side per se, they are certainly on it. Kyle Yates, fresh as ever. Last medal match in Vietnam, he was cramping a little bit. The conditions in Vietnam were demanding. Here in Melbourne, not so much.
Well, importantly, after the change of ends, they do get the side out now.
3-6-1.
George Wall, ball in hand.
Just a 3-point game. Ooh. Kyle Yates shifting gears.
Oh, through the middle, Joe Wild had his backhand ready to go.
Sometimes when you speed yourself up to try to apply pressure, you're inadvertently just taking time away from yourself, right? And that's when you can apply some unnecessary pressure to your own team that way. Gotta watch out for that.
I don't know what sort of textbook that shot comes from, but that was a hit and hope in my book.
Yeah, if they're not ready for it, do it. Hargreaves got away with one there.
Ooh. Well, that was a first rare mistake for a while from Hargreaves, and he looked a little too keen to pull the trigger on that shot.
Huge windup, a little late. Hey.
Just a very blasé-looking mistake there from Joey Wild.
And for Yates, you know, sometimes the game is as easy as you make it.
Yeah, smart speed up there from Joe Wild. He just saw that ball that went a little bit too high off the Yates paddle, went directly for Hargreaves.
Six, 5-2.
We saw the brick wall in motion there. George Wall, nice little buffeting backhand
5, 6,
to the
1.
baseline there. They regain serve. And Yates living dangerously, popping that one up. Joe Wild couldn't do much with it. Hargreaves took the opportunity there.
It's truly a clutch follow-up from
5,
Hargreaves.
6, 2.
Ooh, brutal miss from Wilds. Brutal miss. It's tough because those shallow dinks, you know, sometimes when it clips off the net, you really have to get that much more under the ball to get the desired trajectory to clear that net. Oh, again, going to the well. Clutch time.
Yeah, I mean, this is danger zone now, Rob Cassidy. This is game 3, gold medal match, Melbourne Championships. Mitch not missing by much there.
7, 5, 2.
And there's that gear shift from Yates, you know, on that speed up there, pressing a little harder. I don't think he needs to.
That's a great dig there from Hargreaves. Reset there from...
Oh!
Well, you see another side out here, Rob Cassidy, and the ball will be in the hand of the team in front.
It's a high IQ point from Kyle Yates, resetting when appropriate, attacking when appropriate, and then countering when appropriate. Applying pressure with positioning. Forces that out ball. And another timeout call.
Well, while the players have a quick timeout, we might take a quick timeout ourselves. When we come back, we'll have the rest of this Game 3 gold medal match. This gold medal match, men's open final. Mitch Hargreaves, ball in hand. Kyle Yates on his right, serving to George Wall. Joe Wild. This is Game 3. And really important there, after that timeout was called by Wild and Wall, that they do regain service now. And Joe Wild with yet another small dinking mistake here. And Joe Wild just taking his time on this service, Rob Cassidy.
That's it. Really spreading their wings now. Attacking at free will. Driver's seat, Hargreaves, Yates. We touched on the consistency of these players. 3 out of 4 of them in this gold medal match from the Vietnam event. Off the net and tough. The only player that's not there from the Vietnam event, of course, is Wesley Gabrielson, who is competing at the Worlds in the States currently. Hargreaves up for the challenge.
Well, Wild and Wall, they're not done yet. They are fighting to the very bitter end on this one.
Yeah, and I don't mind that look from Kyle. It's not the look that got them here, right?
Down the line.
Well, the drive and per se, but yeah, the slow game from these two is pretty much unstoppable right now. But again, you know, knocking on different walls, opening up some different spots. Don't want to give Wilds and Wall too many opportunities with the serve. Hargreaves, powerhouse.
Five, 9, 2.
I love that ball path on that drive.
That's some hot pickleball, Rob Cassidy.
Gold medal match style play. Still playing chess, even in the hands battle. It's not just swinging and hacking. It's still chess in the hands battle. Oh, huge miss, huge point.
Huge miss, huge point, because it does bring up a match point, Rob Cassidy, in this gold medal match. Hargreaves and Yates going for it. And it goes long, and Kyle Yates, Mitch Hargreaves, they do secure the gold medal here in Melbourne.
It's a very great performance by both sides of the net. I got to witness it firsthand from Joey Wilds and George Wall, the quality of play here in Australia. So congratulations to Hargreaves and Kyle Yates for getting it done. Laser focus, Adam. That's what I felt like got them this gold medal today.
Incredible. And what a performance from Mitch Hargreaves. He certainly in that game 2 was the man. And in game 3, he was just solid. And Kyle Yates, the 7-time US Open champion, well, he's just secured his first gold medal at the PPA Tour here in Australia. He has a swag of silver,
yes.
2 silvers, one in the Gold Coast, one in Vietnam. I know that this is going to mean an incredible lot to him. He's so happy right now.
And with this gold going into the weekend and after this weekend, he will be inducted into the Pickleball Hall of Fame in the United States just around the corner. So huge congratulations to him and Simone Jargin and all the accolades that they have secured in this great game of pickleball and the great work that they've done for it. So
we can just see the 2 players on court now hoisting that trophy. That's the trophy. That's what they've played for. That's what they've won. What a fabulous match. They did it the long way.
Yeah.
They lost in game 1. Yeah. They went down.
They did not flinch.
4-11.
They did not flinch.
And then they came out swinging. They got a bagel in the second game, 11-0 against some incredible opponents in George Wall and Joe Wild. In that last game there, well, they were pretty commanding throughout and forcing Wild and Wall to have many rethinks, many timeouts, and they just were unstoppable in the end.
Every time you watch Kyle Yates play the game, you get to learn a thing or two. His drops are so good with that ball path, giving him time, and even his drives dip. I think he has the best ball path of any third shot drive in the game, and you start to see that on the other side with Joey Wilds and Wall. Their drive has that as well, so it's nice to see, that level. Kyle Yates is rubbing off on these Aussies.
Big time. Well, Rob Cassidy, thank you so much for joining us in the broadcast.
Adam Hall,
it was a pleasure.
thank you so much, man.
Absolute pleasure. Yeah. And you will be taking the court in our MLP Australia event for the local team, the Melbourne Mavericks.
Yes.
We're so looking forward to that, mate. So good luck this afternoon.
Thank you.
And for all our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in to the PPA Tour here in Australia. That was the conclusion of the gold medal match for the men's. It's been secured by Kyle Yates and Mitchell Hargreaves.